At 81 years old, I learned one of the hardest lessons a man can ever learn. This lesson wasn't about money, success, or power. It was about people. One day comes, and you stop chasing people. You stop running after those who don't want you. You stop trying to be seen by people who refuse to look at you. You stop begging for a seat at tables where you were never meant to sit. And the ironic part is this: the day your real life actually begins is the exact day you stop chasing. If you're in a relationship right now that exhausts you, if a friendship feels like you're constantly walking uphill, please listen carefully. These words are for you. Get comfortable. Take a deep breath. We spend most of our lives building bridges. We want to be liked. We want to be included. We want to prove our value to people who aren't even paying attention. But at 81, the view looks different. I realized something important. The energy we waste chasing the wrong people is the same energy we should be using to build our own peace. Let me be honest, I spent 40 years chasing ghosts. And I don't want you to make the same mistake. Think about your own life right now. Is there someone you keep reaching out to, only to be met with silence? Are you the only one keeping the fire alive? Are you the only one holding the connection together? I lived under a dangerous illusion for years. If I try a little harder, they'll see my value. If I become more successful, they'll stay. If I'm more patient, they'll finally appreciate me. That search for approval slowly drained my soul for decades. I was a man trying to hold water in a sieve. And here is the painful truth that only time can teach. If you have to chase them, they are not your people. Most men realize this far too late. Only when the pain becomes impossible to ignore. We confuse loyalty with staying where we are merely tolerated. But that isn't loyalty. That is self-destruction. I remember the moment I stopped chasing. A heavy weight lifted off my chest. That weight was other people's indifference. Yes, the price was high, but the freedom was worth it. Have you ever walked away from someone and felt relief instead of sadness? If you have, then you understand exactly what I mean. For many years, I misunderstood one thing deeply: the fear of being alone. We chase people because we're terrified of silence. We think a crowded room proves we've lived a good life. But at 81, I know this. The loneliest place on earth is a room full of people who make you feel like you have to perform just to be seen. I will never again trade my dignity for company. The obsession with being chosen was the heaviest burden I carried. If I could go back, I would tell myself this: your tribe doesn't require you to run a marathon. The people who belong in your life will meet you halfway. They will respect your silence. Letting go is not an act of anger. It is an act of self-respect. It means saying, I am enough, even if you don't see it. This realization changed how I viewed family and old friends. We often stay trapped in toxic cycles because of shared history. I've known him for 30 years. She's family. But history is not a valid reason to let someone drain your soul today. One thing I will never do again is give someone a free pass to disrespect me just because we share memories or blood. Some people are meant to be a chapter, not the entire book. And that's okay. My life changed when I stopped forcing forever onto relationships that were only meant for a season. I quietly lost years of joy trying to fix things that were never mine to fix. The turning point came when I realized this. The only person I'm responsible for keeping in my life is myself. Have you ever had to let go of a longtime friend to protect your own sanity? If you have, you know how painful and how necessary that decision is. I used to chase people because I wanted them to tell me I was a good man. I wanted their approval to feel successful. But at 81, I understand this. No amount of applause can fill the emptiness inside you. If you don't value yourself, you will always be at the mercy of people who treat you like an option. The biggest mistake I finally corrected was letting someone else hold the pen that writes my worth. When I stopped chasing, I finally had time to look inward, and I discovered something unexpected. I actually enjoy my own company. A quiet afternoon with a book felt more fulfilling than shallow conversations with status-driven friends. This shift gave me hope that wasn't dependent on text messages or invitations. That's when I discovered the power of selective silence. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't owe anyone a justification for protecting your energy. True power is being able to walk away quietly. It's wishing someone well in your heart while knowing they no longer have a key to your home. I no longer spend my precious hours wondering why someone changed. The why doesn't matter. The outcome is the same. My life changed the day I stopped being a detective of other people's motives and became the guardian of my own time. Our energy is limited. At 81, I know exactly how much fuel I have left each day, and I refuse to waste a single drop on anyone who makes me feel hard to love. I learned the hard way that when you stop chasing the wrong people, you create space for the right ones to show up. Think of it like a garden. If you're too busy watering weeds, the flowers never get a chance to grow. My social life improved when I stopped trying to be everyone's friend and chose to be a true friend to a few. I chose depth over quantity. There's a special kind of peace that comes when you stop checking your phone for a name that never appears. There is dignity in silence. If you're at a stage where you know a bridge needs to burn, don't be afraid of the fire. Sometimes that fire is what lights the path forward. It's never too late to set a new standard for how you are treated. Even at 81, I'm still refining my boundaries. No is a complete sentence. I spent years as a people-pleaser, but choosing peace was worth every ounce of effort. Now I ask you this. Who are you chasing right now? And more importantly, what are you running from inside yourself? Maybe you're afraid to stop, afraid of what you'll find when you finally sit with yourself. I will never again live as a shadow of someone else's life. At 81, I'm still surprised by how much joy I find in my own presence. My life changed when I stopped chasing and started building. I built a life I don't need to escape from. And remember this, a man's life isn't measured by how many people he kept, but by how much peace he preserved. Losing the wrong people is the greatest win of all. The world will tell you that being alone is a failure. My 81 years tell you this. Being alone and at peace is a massive success. Don't fear the silence after you let go. In that silence, you hear your own voice again. And in that space, you finally meet the man you were always meant to be.